We are the HPI-DigitalBlog and we are here at the Potsdamer Security Conference with Hanna Henning, Chief Information Officer of Siemens AG. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for being here.
A very current topic with you is the merging or convergence of IT and OT. Can you explain to our viewers what exactly is meant by this?
When we talk about merging OT and IT, we're actually talking about moving and merging hardware from machines, which we actually called operational technology, hence OT, together with software, which is basically driven by IT information technology. So it's really about connecting these hard things with soft things and allowing that we are able to, for example, steer hardware via software now. This happens, for example, in the environments of factories, where we can now, with this merger of hardware and machine with a software layer, it allows us now to retrieve data from the machine, to analyze that data and also feed back data to, for example, improve the production process. So this is what we call OT-IT convergence in itself.
And what new cybersecurity requirements are being created by this convergence?
Well, actually, it means that we are not only we need to not only ensure that IT is secure, the information technology layer, but actually also the OT, the operational technology hardware, which also has embedded software in it. And these OT layers or the OT hardware so far has not been connected to, for example, Office IT or even to the cloud. And that means that they were not even ready. These hardware devices, these assets, the factory machines, etc., have not been required to be monitored from a security perspective. They have not been required to have also security updates to be applied to them. So these are things which are now needed to allow to ensure that the OT environment is also as secure as the IT environment. So we need definitely totally new security architecture within the OT environment, and also the OT products themselves need to change to allow for a smart factory, to allow for an IT-OT convergence, which really gives us a lot of benefits.
In an interview with Automotive IT, you were quoted saying there can't be a one-size-fits-all approach to security. But how can an individual approach to each problem actually be realistically implemented?
So when I've been asked this question, what I'm referring to is that there are specific requirements in terms of security when you look at where a company works in. A company usually is working in an office environment where you also need to provide availability of access to data which the users are needing to do their work, be it using an HR system, sales system, etc. pp. That has different requirements compared to a production environment, which is the other environment where you need to also define and set up different setups of security. As we just heard, it's not only about securing the IT layers, but it's also to securing the OT layer. So we have a different type of access need, and we also need to secure that much more, because whenever there is a breach in the production environment, obviously this hits us harder than if I have a breach in the office IT environment. The third area is obviously in the area when you do also development of products, where you have R&D, research and development environments. For these, obviously you need to allow that environment to be secured in that sense that it's actually even decoupled from the rest of the company, be it production or office, because in that area you want to experiment more. You want to try out things. You want to also collaborate with external partners to develop the products. So that's where you need also different type of security.
And one last question. When it comes to computer security, the term firewall often comes up. Many people feel very well protected by their firewall, but is a traditional firewall still a contemporary concept, or do we need to rethink in this area?
Absolutely, we need to rethink, because so far, obviously, we are happy with firewalls because they are keeping us protected, as you said it. The unfortunate disadvantage of a firewall is that with the concept as it has been thought so far, within the firewall you think everything is secure, everything outside of the firewall is unsecure. However, we also have seen many, many examples where actually an intruder, an attacker, a hacker was able to get into the firewall. With that, because it's all treated as secure, he would have been freely to even damage more within that firewall. So we now need to follow a different cybersecurity concept, which we call zero trust. What does zero trust mean? It means that we never trust any device, any person which is attached to a network. We always verify. That means we need to ensure that we understand who is trying to access which data, where is this access trying to be attempted from, which location is it, which device from. All these checks need to be done, and they are basically done on the spot with the time of the access requirement coming through. So yes, firewall are still there, and they have a certain purpose to serve, because not every product, not every process has been already transformed into zero trust, but zero trust is the future security concept we need to move towards.
Then thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you for having me here.